Yeah, I saw that thing about they're going to make Superman black, and like I don't care about superhero movies that I like when I don't care about the agenda or whatever, but when something happens in that community where they all get upset with like, he can't be black, he's a Martian or something, and like just seeing the people get pissed off, it's like, God, you're like, you're being ridiculous right now. Like, I can understand if you're like, oh, we should stay white because it's the characters, kind of like, it would be weird if he turned like races all of a sudden. It's kind of supposed to be like continuity, right? You would imagine it's always the same Superman, just a different act, kind of like the way Batman is. But, like if Batman appeared as like Japanese, you'd be like, but like there's an understanding, and now he's Japanese. But I don't know. I like seeing the superhero community get pissed at things that I think are silly.
Well, Kyle, I know you hate the superhero movies, but you're just going to have to fucking swallow it because they're only getting bigger and they're getting more prevalent. Disney is coming out with its own streaming service. A lot of people know about this. And of course, it's difficult to like just start up a streaming service. Now, they do have a huge catalog of movies, but a lot of them are already signed away to places like Netflix and Hulu. Well, they've canceled all those deals. As soon as they run out, all that shit gets sucked back to the Disney service. They're going to make a TV show with Loki. They're making a like a mini series with Loki and Scarlet Witch, and they're of course the actors from. Just saying, it's two different shows. That's cool. I thought it was just one show that featured both of them, but yeah, they're going to get the actors from the big screen to come over and make a mini series on their streaming service.
Man, that's so dope. It's so
cool.
Right. That's what we need. We need more original superhero movies, but not like really, really original. Like rehashes, slightly changed to be more palatable to a modern audience from the 50s and 60s. How long will these idiots drink this swill? Let's find out.
I like superhero movies. They're some of my favorites. I'm excited about the next Avengers. Kyle, you want to say something?
I hope they remake Lord of the Rings and they make it a fucking travesty. I hope that the Hobbits are fucking Korean. I hope the Hobbits are all played from the people from that movie, Sexy Rich Asians or whatever. Yeah. And I hope all of the ghouls and goblins and shit are played by black men. And I hope you just every time you cry about it, I'm
little people, but not little people like that dude from Game of Thrones. They need to have that weird voice where it's like,
and you have my sword.
Yeah.
And you have my bow.
It's like he wasn't even a midget. Like,
yo, you got my axe.
And they need to sing a lot. Like Lollipop Guild, throw that shit in there. I don't care. Just
Samuel L. Jackson is going to play Gandalf. You're going to just have to suck it up.
Dude, Samuel, I can't imagine a worse choice for Gandalf than Samuel L. Jackson. Literally, no tact, no little like limericks or riddles for people. Speak, friend, and Anna. Friend! And then it enters up because he wouldn't even look past the first layer.
No, he would do this. He'd do like a black person handshake with The Rock, right? Like it'd be all crazy, right? It's gonna be great. You're gonna look. I hope a transgender person plays Arwen. I hope it's a dude. All the way.
And then it's clear that Aragorn's actor the whole time isn't down for it.
Yeah,
he's also Japanese. Obviously, he's like, this was not a part of the contract. I was led to believe a real woman would be here.
The blade which was broken is now reforged. Yeah,
the shards of Anduril.
I am a keeper of the flame of a Numenor. You're gonna feel it then when they start taking away the things that matter to you, your childhood, and they start corrupting it and bastardizing it with their social justice warrior ways.
I mean, like I feel good for people who are enjoying the superhero movies. Like if that's what you like, enjoy it. I don't actually. I like that it bothers people that I don't like them. It's fun to like push those buttons, but I don't really care at the end of the day. That being said, Kyle, if your iteration right there of Lord of the Rings came to be, where there'll be like, I am a Frodo Baggins, I must get the ring to murder, or like what? Like I would be so upset, it would ruin my day. Yeah. Like I'd be like, he's not Japanese, or oh, he's not black, or he's a hobbit.
Oh. We need to just throw in new characters that weren't there before.
Oh,
right?
Oh, like they did with the fucking with the Hobbit series, where they're like, hey, let's kill Smaug way too soon in the third movie, and then let's interject a storyline about an elf character that didn't exist because we need more women, or they're gonna get pissed at us. And then let's throw it
Yeah.
That was despicable of them. Like, there's not enough story to go through already. You got to add other storylines. You gotta have Legolas jumping on those rocks. Like, this is a fucking 1989 platformer game. Like, no, this is
What were they thinking when they added Brock Lesnar in blackface? I don't know. It's Lord of the Rings.
Dude, look, that's where specimens like Brock Lesnar should be utilized. I feel like when you're that enormous, not necessarily in blackface. I mean, maybe
like an Uruk-hai, like in the makeup and everything. He'd be the biggest Uruk-hai in the land.
That CGI like orc goblin leader in the last movie, the pale orc or whatever his name was, looked awful. If it had just been Brock Lesnar with prosthetics and they do voiceover for him, like someone else do the voice, like he's Darth Vader, right? That would have been scary as fuck if he looked
Brock
legit.
Lesnar doesn't have the right proportions to me.
But he's an orc. He doesn't look human. It's perfect.
Yeah, okay. Strong point. My vision of like a superhuman looks more like He-Man. You know, just all biceps and V shape. Brock Lesnar is so huge; it looks like his rib cage doesn't fit through a doorway. You know,
I love He-Man. I watched there's a thing on Netflix called something about like the Legend of Grayskull or the story of Grayskull. And anyway, it's like an hour-long documentary about He-Man and how the cartoon, how it started with the toys, and then they made the cartoon, and then they made the comics, and then they made the movie, and it's got Dolph Lundgren in it and all the creators and everything. And I'm watching it, just reliving my childhood, because like the toys came out in like 75, 76, and then by the 80s they were huge. Like I had Castle Grayskull, I had Man at Arms and He-Man and Skeletor and fucking Beast Man and Sea-Man and all of the hot chick characters. That's what they had. All of them.
And Sea-Man.
Was there really a Sea-Man?
There was
I didn't get him until I was.
There was
15.
gonna be the female character was gonna be named.
Taste my salty bleachy spread.
Each of his fingers looks like a penis head instead of a fingernail. They're just blasting him with ink.
Now your eyes all red.
Stings, doesn't it? Visine will only make it worse.
Now you've got other floaters in your eye to distract you as we tip.
Yeah, I see those pornos where they blast all over the girl's face, and I'm like, I've never seen a girl who didn't immediately want to get that out of her eyes because it burns so bad. But these chicks they're real troopers. They pretend like they want it in there.
What about the least, the spin-offs you want the least to happen? Who are the characters you want to just fucking go away and never see again?
All of the Sand Snakes.
Yes,
Oh,
agreed.
well done.
100%.
Well done.
More sand bitches. I'm okay with
Because
sand.
most of them shouldn't fucking be there anyway. Like
They just, it feels like
added
such a
characters
blatant
for
play
no
on
reason.
like sexuality. It's just like, these are attractive women. Pay attention to them.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but I no matter how silly or ridiculous or over the top the universe is, whether we're talking about Star Wars or I think Star Trek is pretty plausible as far as fantasy universes go. But Star Wars or whatever it is that's just out there, I can suspend my disbelief as long as the rules are consistent.
Internally consistent, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Agreed,
they have
100%.
explanation. Like, you got to explain to me why you never just shoot the bad guy, right? If there's constant
You want a
opportunity-
magic system? I'm 100% behind it if you make that internally consistent across episodes. If you tell me why sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't, why the biggest fucking badasses in that universe aren't just like magic kill you, fine. I'll believe it if you make it internally consistent. The minute you violate that, it destroys the entire universe.
I absolutely 100%. Yeah.
Heroes had a problem with that. You know, Heroes, the TV show?
Yeah, it definitely did. And
so one
writing.
of the characters could reverse time, and he could teleport, right? So that was their thing. And like the Asian guy, I forget his name.
Hero.
Yeah, it was Hero. And I guess I read something or saw an interview with the writers, and they quickly realized that could solve every problem.
Mm-hmm.
That like no matter what happens, someone dies, someone loses, someone wins, a plot gets revealed. Hero could have hypothetically always just gone back to before that. Oh, not only does he have time travel, he has teleportation, right? Like even regular people can get near infinite tries at stuff, and so they had to start making all these rules. They devoted like 4 episodes to him trying to bring a waitress back or something. Cherry might have been her name, and because they had to develop these rules to nerf his powers.
Even worse, they had to continually fuck him over.
Mm-hmm.
They had to be, oh, Hero got hit in the head this week. His powers aren't working all of a sudden. And like, oh, hero's too close to that big radio tower. It doesn't work there either. Oh, we're in a nuclear power plant. Doesn't work here either.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a reason why it won't work or can't work or
His
can't work
powers
right
are
now.
provided by Sprint. Yeah.
Yeah. no, fucking T-Mobile. T-Mobile at best.
he's got
Yeah.
Boost Mobile coverage.
His
He's
track
always
phone.
getting like a bloody nose or something, and there's always another reason why his power didn't work this time.
Yeah. The
Which
big
has to be because
downside.
if you give someone godlike powers, the thing is, he always solves every problem unless you seriously do something like that, and it's just stupid. It's bad character
How
design.
little talk did they have in their like meeting for making characters? With like, all right, idea. Well, we could have him go back in time and teleport.
And
But come on,
we
we have
let's-
Superman
let's-
as a fucking character, right? Like that is the laziest goddamn fucking superhero ever.
I give
He's
them
wrote
a
in the
little
20s.
credit because it's so old. You know.
And even better, back when it was written, he couldn't do all this shit. Over time, since
That's
like the
true.
30s or whatever, they've been tacking shit on to
I
Superman.
haven't heard that. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
If you go back, all right, so think about what they used to say in the TV show. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Where does it say anything about flying? Because
Is that actually a true thing, Kyle?
Yeah, it absolutely
that's
is.
really
He used to
interesting.
jump everywhere he went. He would leap large distances and head on over there. Now he's like, away, and he just defies gravity. And then all of a sudden he's got X-ray vision. Oh, now it's laser vision too. Oh, it's cold breath that freezes whole lakes. And he can lift, and they figure out how much he can lift, right? Like, oh, it's 8 stars worth of mass that he could bench press or whatever it is. And he's got regenerative properties. And then, of course, if you shoot him with that green rock, though, he dies. And
The problem with all these things
Yeah.
is like the minute you give someone hero powers like that, it just becomes the Hulk fighting the Hulk, right? It's just stupid. It's just pointless. It's just gratuitous like explosions and shit blowing up, and nothing ever gets accomplished.
That's why
because-
Marvel is so much better because like they and DC goes off with all kinds of different storylines too that maybe aren't canon or don't last forever in phases and stuff. But with Marvel, they've had the Hulk fight Wolverine. Who wins that? They figured it out. They wrote it down, right? Like they have all those crazy things where like, yeah, Wolverine's died, the Hulk's died, everybody's died. They just come back to life. I love that stuff. But Superman is a super lazy character to be written. Although, if you look at the bigger Superman universe and include all of the newer stuff in the 70s, 80s, 90s, he gets better bad guys to deal with, right? Like Brainiac and
Yeah, you have to. But you have to have something because like his fucking powers are ridiculous.
yeah,
It's like,
he
you're like
deals
what
with Krypton.
other heroes can be on that same level? Like the idea of a Batman versus Superman movie, which we've seen, was a fucking retarded idea.
I like
Thank
Because
you.
like the
Thank
power
you.
disparity is just like, all right,
Yeah.
here's a guy who's invincible. Here's a human being who puts on armor. It's just not comparable.
It's
So in the so they explained it better in the cartoon and in the comics. It was set during Ronald Reagan's presidency, and Reagan had Superman like as fucking I don't know his
vice
his right
president
hand
practically.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like this conflict on an island with Russia. So Superman's like, and it goes hot, right? Like Russians and Americans are about to face off, and Superman's like, no fucking way, and he's like flying in, lasering the caps off of tanks, picking tanks up and hitting other tanks, like completely ends the war, and like so that's his kind of thing. He's more like Superman / Captain America. He's definitely got loyalties to the president, and the president's like, these other superheroes are bullshit. Like you got all these guys, these vigilantes is what they call them, like running around enforcing the law however they want. Sometimes at the penalty of death. They're killing other people. Shut it down, Superman. So he has Superman shut down every other superhero in existence because he's Superman.
Because he's ridiculous.
And there's one. It's the guy with the archer. Right? There's 2 different archers, Marvel and DC. I can't.
Which,
remember
by the
what
way,
the
is such a
Green
shitty
Lantern
power.
movie?
I shoot arrows.
He's the guy with the ring, but there's this guy, the Green Arrow. That's his name. Maybe that's what you said. But he like Superman in this comic and cartoon cuts the fucking Green Arrow's arm off. That's how he shuts him down. He's like, you refuse, your arm is gone. He cuts his arm off, and now he can't shoot the bow. So the way they make Batman versus Superman work in that in the writing is Superman's got a buddy. He goes to the Green Arrow and he's like, bet you missed that arm. How'd you like a one-armed bow? And they double team Superman, and during the fight, the Green Arrow shoots an arrow at Superman, and Superman of course goes "Sup!" and catches it, and he's like, ha ha, and the head of the arrow explodes with kryptonite gas. It's great. All that shit should have been in the movie.
Yeah,
The
it should have
movie-
been something that was different because the movie was terrible.
Yeah.
And the premise is slightly terrible
There
because
were
it's
parts
like,
of the movie that were really cool. I liked Ben Affleck's version of Batman.
Oh,
Should have. I did.
Really?
It's better than
I did
Nolan's.
too. I did too.
oh,
I don't know if it's
it-
better, but it
it's
was very
all I
good.
can hear whenever I see Affleck these days, all I can hear is the fucking like the duck saying Affleck. That's all I can ever fucking see when I see Ben Affleck these days.
Affleck from now on, because that's what he is. It should have been just his standalone movie and leave Henry Cavill or whoever the fuck plays Superman out of it. I'd have preferred like get Ben Affleck's Batman movie on the ground, and that's where DC's fucking up. Marvel's like, yeah,
Good luck
Dr.
following the last round of Batman. The last round of Batman was actually really good.
Marvel gives every character a trilogy, right? Like Thor gets a trilogy, Captain America gets a trilogy, Doctor Strange is going to get a trilogy. Everybody gets one. They establish this big mythos, build this huge interwoven
I want to
universe.
see what are our generation, what are our era superheroes? Because I look at these are ideals that are encapsulated 20, 40, 60 years ago, right? These are fucking heroes of a time that isn't our time. Where the fuck are our heroes? I want to see our
Nazis. You telling me that's not modern day?
the Nazis?
Yeah, that's
No, Nazis are 40s.
exactly. Like that's what Captain America came
Yeah,
from.
I know,
That's-
right? Like, and it's
hate
such
him.
like a white and black, like so cut and dry, white and black, fucking like bad guys versus
I
good
bet
guys.
there's
It doesn't
someone
work.
listening who knows the answer to this. Who's like,
Like,
I wanna
oh,
hear.
you would love Diadrama or whatever. I don't know. I made that
Yeah,
up.
maybe.
And
I'd love to see that comment. PM
I-
it to me on Reddit. I would love to hear it, guys.
They're writing new Marvel stuff. But I don't think there are new heroes. The old ones are bigger by
But I
a
sometimes worry about this. Like, I worry about this in terms of like, I'm thinking like even today with the advertisements you're doing, the music, right? Like the music that like to the advertisement that Woody was really enjoying with the fucking bird. That's old music. This is like there's almost like a golden era of like superheroes that we see like portrayed over and over again in the movies. We're seeing like a golden age of music to some degree. I want to see what is the modern day stuff.
They were saying that 1,000 years about Heracles and Achilles and all those guys, but we're still telling those stories, still making movies about them.
Yeah, that's true. But what is our I mean our generation? I say that. I mean there's different age groups here, but what is our
I was
generation's
enjoying
contribution?
being part of your generation for a little bit there.
You're pretty close, Woody. You pull age when it's advantageous. I wanted you to have the penalty of that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there are modern day superheroes. I think that we.
And I don't know. I'm not a comic book guy. I've never been a comic book guy. Like the comic books I read fucking Neil Gaiman's The Endless or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Sandman. That
You
was
know
a
what I'm
fucking
reading?
great
I'm
book.
reading Walking Dead, the comic book.
Good.
I am
Yeah.
caught up. So
I'm
the
not
last
caught
thing
up. I'm probably 3 weeks behind. Something
that
like
that's I may be 4 to 5. So the last thing I remember was we're dealing with whisperers. These are huge spoilers. I can't go into this without spoiling the show for people who haven't seen that aren't going to read the comics, or at least potentially. I was about to say, oh yeah, and then this main character got his head cut off and stuck on a pike.
I know.
Pam-
Yeah, so I'm ahead of that. That happened a while back, I think.
Do we just say cover your ears so we can make the point?
No. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm
Oh.
ahead of heads being put on pikes. I'm ahead of that boy going ham with the shovel. I don't know exactly where I am, but I'm into the comics too. I find them fascinating, and
They
I like to
flow
watch.
well. For
They
some
flow
reason,
really
I
well.
thought I never would like a comic. I thought it was too stupid and that it
I
just
agree.
wasn't a good medium for storytelling. And then I got into The Walking Dead, and I'm like, oh, well, I wonder if I've missed a lot of interesting content.
I'm exactly with you on that, Woody. I did the same thing when I read the Neil Gaiman Sandman comics. Like I had always felt, I read a lot of fiction. I read a lot of great fucking fantasy books and sci-fi and this type of shit. And I felt like comics were kind of like a lower form of like artwork. And then I read this and I was just blown away by it. I was just like, this is so fucking good. This is such a cool medium. It's a totally different medium than like a book, but it was still really, really good.
On Reddit, sometimes they'll take snippets of like, I think, I can't even remember. So it's not a good story, but like Thor was against someone. I think he was saying like no more or something like that, and they quoted it. So then someone showed an image of like 2 or 3 pages of a comic, and it was so powerful, and it was like, oh my god, like to see Thor fight the comic version of him, like fight, It was even cooler than the movie version, I thought.
Yes, of course it is, because your brain fills in all of the special effects, and they can write and draw whatever they want. It can be outrageous. They can describe the level of power or how it felt or how it sounded, and that won't translate on screen. But if they tell you that it shattered an eardrum 100 miles away when he hit the guy in the head with his hammer, you're like, God, it's okay. All right.
I've heard that. I've heard arguments that go both ways on that. Like, there's no way that printed can compare with, the fully drawn out version, the movie, because the movie has so much to show you. But what I like about comics is oftentimes the pause is on the best moment, like a hammer on a guy's face when the face deforms as it, has its impact. On a movie, that is a split second. In a comic, that's what we're reading about. That's the image.
Yeah, it takes that pinpoint moment, drags it way out, and it's described over a period of time, and your brain keeps developing the picture that you're seeing, and it's like your brain is auto painting and filling in this world. Like it's nice.
This is at least my brain. This is my brain with women, right? Like in the distance, all women are beautiful. Like that's just how my brain goes. It just fills it in. It's just like, oh, it's a female form. It might not even be a female form. I see a female form. The female form is beautiful. Brain fills it in. That's exactly. I feel like the exact same way with this. It's like when you have that creative power left to you, your brain does what does that style of thing.
You want, yeah.
The Jim and Pam story was the big story arc for me. So once that starts to once Jim and Pam become like mom and dad, they really start getting boring, and they're not interesting anymore. And man, that Jim friend zone connection thing for the first couple of seasons was so big. It was so good for the show. That's kind of that for me. That's what I was focused on, was the Jim Pam thing.
Do you remember when Michael Scott was advising Jim to go for it? He's like, she's engaged. He's like, engaged isn't married, and she didn't seem happy, and after the boat, it was like he was an idiot. Now, if I remember right, they were like walking on coals and stuff like that, and Michael was particularly incompetent and frustrating. But then he gives Jim that speech, and you're like, there was a real wisdom in that head somewhere. It just gets.
He peeks through. It's just I don't feel like that happens as much at the end with him. Like he definitely changes as a character. To I don't know. When you think about it, though, he did ridiculous stuff the whole time that nobody would ever do. Like what was it? Was the first or second episode Diversity Day, where he makes everybody put their the Jew or black or woman or whatever on their forehead, and they have to go around and talk to each other as though they're that.
Kelly comes in at the end. He's like, "Oh, give me your cookie. Oh, do you want some cookie?" And she finally just slaps the fuck out of him. Like, Creed's one of my favorites too. He's literally like he's what did he say? He's like no one messes with Creed Bratton. The last one did. His name was Creed Bratton. Like he's murdered someone and taken their identity. He comes in one day with his blood just splattered all over his shirt. They're like, "Oh, great Halloween costume." He's like, "Yeah, Halloween. That's lucky."
I like the
cults come up. He's like, "You make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a follower." I've been in many cults.
Creed is great. He doesn't even have many lines, but you're just like, what the? And
all of his lines are hilarious.
Was Phyllis's husband? Was he the Scranton
Bob Vance?
Strangler?
No, Bob Vance was not the Scranton Strangler.
I thought he was.
There are fan theories that suggest that he might be, because he does have a violent streak for sure. And there's that time where Phyllis, it says something like, she's like, "I might have to tell Bob," and he's like, "So what would that mean?" Never mind, I shouldn't have brought it up. Yeah. It's like because for a moment she threatened to tell Bob what someone had done to her, and they were like, "Well, what then? What happens?" She's like, "I shouldn't have brought it up," and just walks away, and they're all like, "Yeah." But Phyllis is always like that. She's like, they were talking about flirting or inappropriate flirting. She's like, Bob's warehouse guys, they're always flirting with me, and usually I don't let it go too far. And it's like, what? So sometimes you do let it go too far? What does that entail, Phyllis?
The Office was so great. I like it when Phyllis is trying to set up Michael with a date, and he's like, "Oh yeah, could we go on a rowboat?" And she's like, "Yeah, she's really nice. Could we go on a rowboat, Phyllis? Will she fit in a canoe? On a rowboat?"
Could she fit in a canoe?
And she's like, "All right, she won't."
In a canoe. All right.
God damn it,
I knew
Phyllis. I like when Creed shows up with that blood splattered shirt, and they like are doing the interview with him, and he goes like, "I forgot it was Halloween. This is really good timing." Like it's just he's sitting there getting interviewed in a blood splattered shirt at work for no reason. He's the best.
When Ryan Howard takes over at corporate, he thinks that the young crowd is coming in there and get rid of all the old guys. So he takes all the printer ink and puts it in his hair. And so he comes in with his jet black hair, like all spiked up. And then you hear someone kind of mention, like in the background, like, "Oh, the printer's all out of ink. I don't know what's happening with that."
That was Ryan who did that? The intern?
No, Ryan went to corporate and got that new job, and everybody's getting BlackBerries. There's a new website, and Creed is afraid of the old guys being replaced. Yeah, because he's too old. So he's trying to appear young and hip. He's like, "When's the website going to be up?" Brian and Ryan's like, "Oh, any day." He's like, "Great, man, great. Hey, can we get some Red Bulls in here?" But because sometimes a guy's got to ride the bull, am I right? And you're like, walks away.
It's so uncomfortable.
He's 84 by the end of the show.
Wow.
84?
Good for 84.
Well, I mean, that's what he said in the show. You know, they asked him his age. He's like, 84.
I got have you guys ever got scam calls from people trying to tell you that you got like a computer problem or something like that, trying to basically over the phone fish you for information and fuck with you?
Cruises. I get a lot of cruises. I get like home security and shit like that occasionally.
Are these emails or calls you're talking about?
Calls.
You know what I get for calls all the time? About my student loans. They're always calling me, talking about how I'm late or I haven't paid. I never had a student loan. Like I was a pay-as-you-go sort of guy, and so it's not like they're paid off. It's like they never existed. But I constantly get student loan calls.
I had the lady called me today, and it was a number from, I don't know, one of the Carolinas or something. I actually just looked it up later to see, and I found like a whole website about like, you know, watchthisnumber.org or whatever. And it was people saying like, "Yeah, this person tried to call and fuck with me too." And this person called me, and it was an Indian woman. Said her name was like Jenny or Jennifer or whatever it was. Naturally. And so she just calls me. I'm like, "Hello?" She's like, "Hello, this is Jenny with official Microsoft customer support. We are calling about many problems with your..." And I'm like, who is this? Like, who? "This is Jenny with official Microsoft customer service support. We are calling in regard to your problems with your computer. You have very many bad programs on your computer, bad malware." And I'm like, oh, that's no good. Who is this again? Who are you with? "We are with official Microsoft customer support and calling about big problems that you have on your computer, your window right now." And I was like, "Oh man, can you just tell me my name real quick?" And she goes, "Good. Gregory." And I'm like, "Gregory?" She goes, "Gregory Huff. Sir, you're interrupting me now. Sir, you're interrupting me now." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's my name? Just tell me my name." She's like, "Gregory Huffstead." I'm like, No. Who the fuck are you talking about? I'm not Greg. And she's like, "You're looking at the information here. This is official Microsoft customer service support." And I was just like, "Are you kidding? Like, you don't know who I am. Never call this number again." Like, here's a tip for anyone trying to scam. An official Microsoft representative does not answer or call you and go, "Hello, this is official Microsoft representative Jennifer." I believe I said that correct. Jennifer. You know, and it's like, no, you're such a bullshit piece of shit. Like, you did this. An old person could have fallen for this. An old person could have been like, "Oh my goodness, I don't want any viruses on my computer. Oh, my social security is," and then just go through that. Like, that's exactly what these pieces of shit do. And for her to say, oh, I forgot the best line. She said, when I said, "What's my name?" the second time, she says, "Sir, you're interrupting me, sir. You're trapping me with questions, sir. You're trapping me with questions." It's like, I'm trapping you with questions. My one question was, "Oh no, what's my name?" "Sir, you're trapping me with questions. This is official Microsoft Windows support." You know, it's like, no, you're not in fucking Raleigh. I guarantee that. And this is probably your first day. This is your first day in the sweatshop because you did not get the line down. Your supervisor standing behind you, very upset at how badly this call has gone for you. I had a very high
throwing acid in her face for sure after that call with you.
Yes.
Because Taylor wasn't
Gregory,
kind
please.
enough to get scammed.
Go to the acid, please, Gregory.
Gregory, I ask you please, this is a life or death situation. Yeah. This is my 4th call today, and I have nothing to show for it. But yeah, that really pissed me off that someone, first of all, just dials random people up, and I've never had someone this obtuse and bad at it call where it was apparent immediately. Like, first of all, when one of those people call you, the first thing they do is ask you a question to make sure you're there and engaged. Always. Guaranteed. They'll say who they are, then ask you something. They don't go on some diatribe about how they are official Microsoft Windows technician or whatever it is. And that just made me so mad. Thinking like it's almost like you think I'm that stupid. You were trying to sell me a bridge, and you thought I was going to buy it. Fuck you.
Trying to learn how to survive last night.
Oh, it's a good show.
It's a great show. I haven't seen it in like 10 plus years, and so I popped it on, and it was funny. One of them, it was in Mexico. It was like part 1 and 2. And like he finds some dead octopus and he's like, I don't know how to cook this, but the tentacles are probably fine. And then he goes and he puts some clams in like some hot coals and they pop open all nice. And then he like goes to like what looks like the barnacles at like
is this the Les Stroud one? I
think the Les Stroud one, yeah.
Thanks.
It's got all those hideous, ugly barnacles you see on like the bottom of a boat. And he's like, these are valuable. You may not think so, but you can really do something with these. And it's like day 1. And like he's got his shelter and everything. And he like makes some of those and he eats them all. And then because he records himself and everything. And so the next morning he like wakes up and he's like, sometimes you roll the dice and it doesn't go the way you want. It's 110 degrees in Mexico. And he's sitting there shivering. And it's like usually it's like day 3 doing this, day 4 I'm making my way from the coast to this interior area. I got to find more fresh water. My distillation thing isn't working, whatever. But for like days 2 through 4, he's just like, and this is sometimes survival. I don't know what to tell you. You just drink as much water as you can and just try and wait it out. And it's like, this sucks.
He has failed before, I think. Like he has
had to call for extractions before.
Right. Yeah, I was going to call it a spot. Like he has some sort of
life alert.
It's like a GPS.
I want to say GPS phone, but satellite phone is what I'm going for.
Satellite phone, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a great show. You can tell how much more real it is than Bear Grylls just by the stuff he does and by the stuff he doesn't do.
I feel like
he'll say...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say, I feel like with Man vs. Wild or whatever, the fucking camera crew is just like finding them the grossest shit to do. Like, Bear, go eat that turd over there. Like that dead camel, go fuck it. Like doing stuff like that.
Sometimes fucking a camel is good for morale.
Hey, sheep eyeballs, eat those. They're just daring them to do stupid shit. It's almost like Jackass in a way. Like
he'll intentionally do stuff like, now, you'd never want to take this route up the mountain, but in case it was the only one available, that's where I'm going. Like, Les Stroud is like, now this right here, death trap, don't be a fool, make your way around slowly. That's what you want to do. Survival's all about measured risks, don't overextend and stuff like that. And Bear Grylls is like,
Bear Grylls is skinning a snow leopard and using it as a sled on an icy mountain. It's just fucking going down. I think he literally did that.
Yeah, like in Norway, Les Stroud was surviving, and I guess he was in an area where like there's a bunch of seasonal hunting cabins around where like the Norwegians will go up there and do some like elk hunting and then just leave it abandoned the rest of the year. And like I'd never seen him steal resources before or break in to someone's like, abode or something. But he like gets to like this abandoned shack and he's like, we're just going to go in. We're just trying it. So he just goes in, spends the night there. He finds like, apparently they took all the good meat from a kill and there was just a bunch of frozen organs and like head meat that he found in a trash bag and he ate all that. And then he kept walking and he found a 4-bedroom, like 3-bathroom, like legit, like rich Norwegian's house. And he's like, I would, you guys know this is real because if this was not real, I would not be showing myself go into a nice house. I can't believe I found this house. Like, it's going to be great. I'm going to sleep on their bed. I'm borrowing some of their resources. Sorry about that. We'll help you out later. Like he just literally broke in. And it was like,
how did he break in? It was locked and he just broke into a house?
One of them, he like rammed the door pretty hard and like got it like jarred open, and the other one just opened right up. The cheap cabin just opened right up. The other one, he actually had to jimmy it, and like it showed him just using that house's like supplies to like crack open food and eat stuff. And like that's what you got to do. That'd be real. Bear Grylls he would have slept in that house and pretended he was sleeping in like a tarp tent.
He'd have had
100 yards
a
away.
hotel rented.
Yeah, probably.
Like they did that. They did that in Hawaii. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so absurd. Like, come on. And the way like with Les Stroud, every time he like leaves the camera and he's like walking away, and then it always shows him coming back like gotta get the camera. just exhausted. But and we were talking about Drifter being like, this is what brought it up initially in my head. Talking about him being confused. It was like day 3 of him being like sick and not having eaten. He's like, we're gonna try and make it. We gotta make it to the base mountain air. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't eaten in 3 days and I'm very sick. We're going to try and make it to the mountain area to get water. Let's just go. Let's go, guys. And like, it's just easy. He's like not able to string it together. Meanwhile, Bear Grylls will be like, all right, 6 days, no food, no water. Let's see what's in store for us today. And it's like,
there's like crumbs on his jacket.
Crumbs on his jacket. Yeah, he's got
a protein bar wrapper in his breast pocket.
You see a Cliff Bar wrapper just caught in the wind. It's like Game of Thrones. Like you look closely in the Starbucks, like on the rock.
He's just reaching into like a giant container of Utz, like looking around, just covered in orange.
What was the story with that? I don't watch Game of Thrones. What was the story with that cup? What was it?
Yeah. So like in the final season, and actually in like the final episodes, there's like several shots where you go to the wide shot, and it's like the council is judging Jon Snow at the very end. You know, Daenerys and like all the main characters that have survived. Well, Daenerys is dead. All the main characters that have survived. And like, if you look closely, like at the base of their chairs, there's like Starbucks. Cause like, you know, obviously like you're chilling a lot between takes and there's a huge amount of downtime, and it makes sense. Like there's coffee on those sets all the time, but like you move the fucking coffee cups out of the shot or you shoot around them. You're like it's one or the other. There's no instance in a professional like situation where you would have that cup. Like even when I made videos, if there was something that shouldn't be in the shot, it was like, well, that can't be there. Get that the fuck out of there. Like, dude, I can see your leg. You're not supposed to be here right now. Like you know, yeah. Here's and then it's right there. There's lots of shots like this.
That's very obvious too. Huh.
Super obvious.
I don't know. It looks a little medieval to me. You don't see it.
Come on, there's a
got a plastic
top.
lid.
It's got a plastic top. Yeah.
It's
brown. Branded.
It's brown. It's
and
cardboard.
all he had to do to fix that would be to like make medieval cups for everyone, write their name like on the inside.
Idea.
Like on the inside, so that only you can see it if you're looking down into the beverage. Like write the names on it, like, oh yeah, Danny, and like put her fucking Starbucks in there. And when oh yeah, Danny's having a bit of mead in the background, and she can be
you just
having
need
her
one
espresso.
person who's not a fucking idiot to be like, hey, next to the goblet head.
Dude, they couldn't come up with some of those. if that was sitting there, we wouldn't even flinch. We'd be like, oh, cool.
Yeah, he's drinking mead out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some mead.
Terrible.
Can you get
Fuck
mead
that
at the
show.
store?
I was watching some like I've been watching a bunch of like Sopranos shit lately. There's this guy that like I'm gonna stop watching because he just makes shit videos. He just like watches an episode of Sopranos and then tells you what happened in the episode. I don't know why I'm even still fucking watching. I know
you've seen Sopranos
because you want to know what happens.
He's not even dissecting it. He's not even like now what you got to pay attention to here is the undertones. You know what is he really saying? He's like no. He's just like yeah. Then they go to the dentist and the dentist seems like a nice guy and he's just like reiterating what happened in the episode. But anyway, like some guy was like talking about the ending of The Sopranos and how he didn't like what Butchie's character did. How he likes the ending, but he didn't like Butchie's motivations.
Wait, Butchie? Who's that again?
Yeah, can you remind us?
He's that short guy from New York who, when Tony goes in and he takes Coco out, when he punches him with the revolver in his hand for talking shit about Meadow, Butchie is the guy who was sitting there eating his fucking pasta, and he's like, whoa.
Okay.
That's Butchie. He's like Phil Leotardo's second in command. And he was saying like Butchie's motivations make no sense at the end. Like he's been so fucking loyal to Phil this whole time, and then right at the end he like turns on Phil, sides with Tony, like sells out New York even though Tony's crew is like in shambles. It doesn't make any sense. And I was kind of on board with him, and then he was like, I also like the end of Game of Thrones. I think it's just fine. I'm just like, turn this shit the fuck off. Plot recommendations, not interested ever.
Not interested ever.
He almost had me sold on something, and then he said that. And I was like, I got no respect for your opinion. No respect at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, objectively, that's if he's a movie channel or show channel and he liked the end of Game of Thrones, that's pretty silly.
This is Butchie, right? Do I have the?
That's Butchie.
Yeah.
Okay.
He plays an irritable Italian guy in a lot of things.
He's got the look.
Yeah.
He's also a little cross-eyed.
Yeah, a little cross-eyed. He's got you can tell he had bad acne as a kid.
Real bad. He's got that Ray Liotta face.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Ray Liotta's got some rough pockmarks.
Woo! They tried so hard to make him handsome in everything he did, and then at some point they just gave up. Like, yeah, we don't have enough spackle to fix that, Ray. I'm sorry.
Don't they fix that with lasers or something?
Not when it's that bad. It's he's crater faced.
You can do some things to alleviate it. It's weird. A lot of Hollywood actors that have really bad scarring and shit, they won't fucking do anything to it. They'll just
maybe they're it's not a big market for ugly actors, but supply and demand. Whatever gets you hired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi, he's ugly, but he's a tremendous actor.
Yes.
Great in everything, or everything I've seen him in.
And then there's this guy. I'm gonna hopefully I can get this to open correctly. Is
this another pockmark guy?
There's a character actor that I was thinking of, and I'm just trying to open his image in its own tab so I can link it. So this guy was in Braveheart. He was in Sons of Anarchy. I think he's Irish or Scottish.
Oh yeah, the guy.
And he's got a scar on his face, and it's great. Like anytime you need a tough guy, a grizzled veteran of war or whatever, it's dude's got a fucking scar on his face, right in the middle of his cheek. It's great.
Is he in the Boondock Saints or no? Is it a different guy?
You're thinking of Norman Reedus, I think.
Oh, yeah. I am.
Another.
They look kind of similar though.
They do. Yeah, I think.
Jason Momoa, I think, has a big fucking eyebrow scar from where he got somebody tried to shank him with a broken beer bottle or something, or hit him with a beer bottle or something like that in a bar. So,
Jeez.
Is that what that is? An eyebrow? Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
The best way it could have panned out for him. Just a little eyebrow line after getting bottled.
It looks good.
It looks
good. Cool. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It makes him look pretty cool. We need to get cool scars, guys.
It's a risk though. I think if I just fuck with someone who has a broken bottle, it might turn out poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a cool scar. It's all gross.
He just disfigured my nipples. And but think of the shirtless
I saw
pictures.
a UFC fighter today, doing his weigh-in, and his nipples were so far off his chest.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture?
Yes, but I'm not sure he was a UFC fighter.
Please send that.
MMA fighter. They were standing there for their weigh-ins, and you can see he's got well-defined pecs, but his nipples are 2 inches lower than they should be.
He said his nipples were on point.
Yeah, he's making a little self-deprecating joke.
So they're 2 inches lower than they should be. Is it because
they need to be
did he gain did he used to be really fat and he lost so much weight?
No, it's just a genetic malformation.
I hit a tree with that thing going about 25 miles per hour. I was afraid to go any faster than that. A head-on collision at 25 miles per hour is pretty serious.
It is, yeah.
But I remember being boom, and just being oh, that was fucking awesome. And getting out and looking and we didn't even do that much to, it crumpled all the fuck up. Did you have
a nice airbag deploy?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's fun too. You got to stay back. You don't want the airbag to hit you. You want to either fall into the airbag or if you know there's a wreck coming, I put the seat all the way back, got all the way back, and when I make impact, I'll do that thing I saw that guy on 2020 do when I was a kid. The guy who had survived 10,000 car accidents. He's like a human crash test dummy.
Right.
I remember watching him, and he's they're meet the man who's been in 5,000 car accidents when we come back on 60 minutes. Tick, 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 tick.
I remember that.
And I was all right, I'm sitting here and watching this. I want to know what you need to do. And he's got his catcher's knee pads on. They go from knee down to your shins. And he was talking about what to do with your hands so that you're not have them on the wheel when hurt your wrists or break your arms or have the airbag burn your forearms or your face. And
how do you get into that career path of just crashing? You'd probably maybe stuntman, and then you transition, or
he worked for the NSTCA, the national or whatever they are, the National Traffic Safety Highway Safety Association or something like that. So they were literally crash testing cars, and he was just doing it himself.
And he just had a knack for it.
They had a real itch for it. They were all out of pig cadavers that day, and Bill wanted to make $20, so his career started right then and there. Have you ever seen those old videos of them using pig cadavers for like Air Force tests, military tests, and car collision tests? It's gruesome. So they anesthetized the pig, right? He's alive, but he's unconscious.
What?
Yeah. And then they like sit this full-grown, like 200-pound pig up in the seat of like a 76 Oldsmobile and buckle him in. And he's just, just laying there in the seat. And then it's off to the races, 60 miles an hour at a brick wall or whatever. And, the pig, they show the pig, there's a pig cam, and he's just kind of jostling around in there a little bit. He's not awake. He's out.
Probably happy as hell.
He jostles a little and then just bam. And of course he hits that steering column and that steering wheel, and it's just destroys the pig, fucks him up. Or they hit the glass, or the whole cab collapses. And then in the military, I've seen them like cram the pig into an ejection seat, or any of the little like scary scenarios that you might run into that you need to test whether, hey, would a man die doing this? No, but a pig will. Let's do it.
They just put him in like an ejection seat, and we'll launch. So they're like sitting there, like, all right, let's see how Babe does. And they go thunk, and you go wee 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 wee.
He's out. He's not awake. He's not awake for it. I almost got in one of those ejection seats a while back, and then it turned out they were like, it'll crush all your vertebrae, and I was like, well, I guess I don't want to crush my vertebrae. But Dude. Matt had a decommissioned like F-18 fighter jet seat. And all you would have to do is take the seat and bolt it down to a platform of some kind, as if that were the jet, and then fucking pull the ejector, and it's literally rockets. Like literally, this thing rockets you up, and normally I think they're explosive pins where the canopy literally explodes off of you, poof, and then you rocket out of the plane. I think that's how it works if you're in a plane, but I'd just be on the ground. So the idea was this thing's going to rocket me several hundred feet, 200 to 400 feet into the air at like an incredibly high rate of speed. At first I was like,
and then you parachute down.
And then you parachute down.
That sounds like such a great ride. I wish it wasn't spine crushing.
Disoriented? Wouldn't you be too disoriented, like when you're shot up to even react to anything? Like
you don't
when you
need
pass
to react.
out?
No, yeah, it's all automated.
All you got to do is boom, pull, and it's a ride from then on. That you may or may not survive. There's a chance I could those Air Force guys, there's a reason that they don't black out from 3 or 4 Gs that they're regularly pulling. I'm sure some of it is physical training, some of it is the suit they're wearing. That thing squeezes the blood out of your legs up closer to your head. But just me personally, I mean, there are some roller coasters that'll make me black out. So I would definitely be unconscious on that thing.
You have a
straight
disadvantage. The short people are better at it.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
That makes.
And actually, it turns out, on a similar vein, women are better at it, and it's because they're short people.
So are short people good at it, or are women good at it?
People whose brain are closer to their heart.
Ah, are women's brain? Okay, so short people, I guess.
You see the connection? Yeah, because women tend to be short.
I'm putting the pieces together now.
Yeah.
Hobbit would be very good as an Air Force pilot. Like that's who you'd want. If like Tolkien times move forward into the present, you'd be looking for hobbits to fly your aircraft.
No, wait.
Muzza Fuzza would be bad at it.
You need that dwarf stockiness.
In theory.
And they're also short.
You would put the dwarves in the tanks.
I was going to say make a whole dwarf military battalion, because I think they'd be very useful. You wouldn't need like a specially trained guy to bust down a door. They're strong, ogre little guys, and they just would kind of punch it and knock it through. They make their own armor, beautifully crafted mithril armor that they could wear into Fallujah or wherever we send the dwarf battalion.
Where would you use the elves and the humans? Like, is there any use for them at all? Maybe the humans would be good in command?
The humans would probably be good in command. The elves, I don't think would be that useful, because they see everybody else as like lower life. So they might treat it as like
Air
a game.
Force, you're saying.
That's good, yeah. So probably Air Force, yeah.
I was looking for this quote. Let's see.
What quote?
I wish I could muster a legion of dwarves, fully armed and filthy. Legacy is like, I fear war has already found its way to both of our lands. I love that part. And I always wondered, I was like, why doesn't Gimli have some backup? He's just here on his own doing all this shit. Like, he doesn't have a cousin he could bring into the fray. At least like a dozen guys or so. Like, it seems like there's only 8 dwarves left in all of Middle-earth around the time of the Ring.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Lord of the Rings, is that the dwarves weren't like in a lot of fantasy worlds where they're almost like gnomish and like weak and kind of shitty and just good at like crafting stuff. I liked in Lord of the Rings how the dwarves is like, they're like the elite fighting force of like, you're about to fight a bunch of people who are smaller than you by stature, broader than you, and they're all 3 times as strong as you just across the board.
They're like
they'll
fighting
just grab you and
chimpanzees.
steal your shit.
Were you upset, like I was, that the movies didn't accurately represent dwarves? Like, for example,
there are no dwarf women.
What was the battle? Was it Helm's Deep at a big wall where they had the competition
when he
between...
tossed him?
Yeah, the dwarf won that, and I felt like he didn't properly win it in the movie. And they did dwarf tossing, as Kyle mentioned. That's an embarrassment. That shouldn't have been... Like, they really... when they ran... Remember how they ran, like, for ages and ages? I think 1/3 of Lord of the Rings is, like, aerial shots of people running.
Yeah.
The dwarf...
Wasted on cross-country. Very dangerous over short distances. But that's not true.
Yeah, the dwarves actually, while not sprinters, had the endurance to keep plowing away, and they could carry more and they could run farther. Yet in the movie, they're like fat kids, you know. And I just was like, dude, you're not, dude. In the books, I'm not going for characters. The races, I guess, were balanced. You know, the elves were agile, like ninjas, and the dwarves were big, strong, stocky, like mules. And each of them had their pros and cons. Hobbits, by the way, remember they'd throw things in the movie and they made it seem like it was almost stupid, like, why are you doing that? Hobbits in the book were like pitchers, you know, marksmen.
Yeah, exactly.
With their
That's the
stuff.
word I was going to use. They're like pitchers.
Yeah, and they would take a rock and it would be a formidable problem for whoever they were throwing it at. And in the books... Hobbits were just kind of luggage that you had to bring along because they weren't so easily corrupted by the ring. So, you know,
and they're tiny.
Yeah, and like they did do, or they didn't focus enough, I guess,
small.
on how the hobbits have every other race beat and like thinking off the top of your head and being clever. Like, that's the one part about the Hobbit I did like more than Lord of the Rings, is showing Bilbo like clearly outsmarting and playing people, manipulating them, because that's like the strength of the Hobbit, is they have to throw shit really well as a last defense, but their strategy is to just never have a conflict because they've got people wrapped around their finger.
Or hide.
What was that?
Or hide.
Or hide. They're very good hiders.
That actually is a thing. They're like ninjas in their ability to hide.
I'm still calling bullshit when they threw that cloak over themselves when they were at the wall of the what's the gate of Barad-dûr? Was it Barad-dûr? No, it was Blackgate. Okay, they're at the Blackgate and they throw that cloak over them and all of a sudden they become a rock, and that like Arabic looking
Easterlings. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, I guess I didn't see anything at all. Back to work.
Wasn't it a magical cloak? Am I crazy?
It was a magical cloak. Yeah. I know it was, but still, like
not good enough for you, huh?
I guess it's all right. It just the way it was presented in the show, I was just like, man, in the movies, he just saw the rocks slide down. Like, it didn't happen for no reason.
It's like when you play hide and go seek with your 2.5-year-old. Like, dude, you're shit at this game, quite frankly. I'm just pretending I can't find you because there's a giant lump on the bed.
Their face. Like, right? That's all they gotta do.
They're standing behind a curtain, and from the thigh down, they're showing. You're like, you know what? I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you really suck at hide and seek.
You better hope that the child killers never come for you, little man, because you can't hide your shit.
Oh man, I could have sworn I saw the Ring of Power around here, don't you? Oh yeah, dude, it's just a couple of guys, but they're gone now. Ooh, B, where could they be? They couldn't be under this blanket rock. That's how that movie should have ended, and they'd rip it off, and they'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Frodo!" And then he steals the ring and kills both of them. But I don't know. That was a scene that was very silly, even in retrospect. And I thought about it the exact same way you just described it, Kyle. Of he would have, like, you don't just cause a rock slide. Like, if you've ever played on a big mound of small rocks, whatever the name of that would be, like gravel, like slightly larger gravel, and you like stand at the top and then walk down, like 10-15 seconds after you've got off the bottom, there's still like dribbles down the side because it's rock. Like, it doesn't just stop right away. Am I just describing rock dynamics in a pile of people right now? Is this the topic we're on? Do you guys realize how it's not the falling does not end when you get off the pile? That's something that nobody realizes and needs to be established. But